Full build of the GLF Racing GLF 1, Part 1. Welcome back to Alex and Tara's RC Adventures. Today I'll be working on GL Racing GLF 1. The kit doesn't come with any instructions, but you can download a copy of the instructions by going onto the GL Racing website. But why not just follow my build instead? Today we're working on GL Racing's GLF 1. This kit came with ESC and Servo. To complete the kit, you'll need tyres, a motor, a receiver, a transmitter. Some features of the car: adjustable tri-damper rear suspension, adjustable duo damper front suspension, adjustable right-left chassis weight balance, Lexan shell and nylon front spoilers, optimal chassis to achieve ultra low CG, double arm front suspension. It's a 114mm wheelbase, aluminium motor mount, rear ball differentials, high quality ball bearings, metal gear servo with saver, and a brushless ESC. So let's see what you get in the box. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please remember to like and subscribe. It's very important to help the channel to grow. Here are all the parts that come with the kit. Main chassis, some plastic parts, wings, small fasteners, bearings, various suspension parts. This also came with the ESC and servo. It also comes with a body. Some additional parts you would need would be a motor. I'm using the GL Racing 3500 kV. Some tyres, a battery, and you'll also need a receiver. Let's start off with the ball diff. Here are the parts you'll need to complete the ball diff. You'll also need some ball diff grease. I'm using Kyosho 15,000. There are a couple of spare parts in the bag. There's a spare bearing and one of these spare clips. And these parts you won't need yet. Next we're going to start on the rear pod. These are the parts we need. So you have the aluminium engine mount, two bearings, B24 by 2, they're 3 by 6 by 2.5 millimeter. B35, that's the 3.5 mil ball nuts, and then the 3 millimeter ball nuts. You can identify these ones because they come in the bag with 6 ball mounts. These are the parts for the ride height adjustment. Various fasteners. M2 by 3 km, M2 by 4 km, M1.2 by 4 pb, M1.6 by 3.5 pm. These are the parts for the ride height adjustment. Now we'll assemble the rear pod. The aluminium engine mount has locators for this part, and it's fitted in place with M1.6 by 3.5 pm screws. There are small pins which locate into holes, which basically secure it in place. And now we use the M2 by 4 kms to hold that in place. I'm securing the 3.5 ball nuts with M2 by 3 km screws. And the M1.2 by 4 PBs go here. I fitted the inserts for a low ride height, and now just pop the bearings in. And then I'm using the 3 mil ball, which will fit here. Sometimes you may need to shim this to get smooth function with the chassis, but I'll try it without first. Next we'll fit the ball diff. I fitted the grub screw in here. There's a small flat here, and that's where the grub screw engages. Now we'll start on the rear suspension support. This is the flanged bearing. It's the only flange bearing in the kit. That sits in there. It's held in place by these tiny screws. These are M1.2 by 2.5 pm. Now 3 mil balls with one spacer. It's a 2.3 by 4.4, and it fits in here. And now we take our carbon fibre part. And here you used a very small spacer. You find these in the bag with the blue anodized parts. And the lock nut is in the same bag. Check that it spins freely. I found that the small 1.2 screws rubbed a little, so I filed them flat. Next, we take our M2 by 8 km and then this blue anodized part here. And one of the ball nuts. Next, the M2 by 4 kms and 2 spacers. And the ball nut. Same on the other side. Next we'll build the steering linkage. It's part A9, A10, 2 bearings, and then these B31. For the steering rods, there's 2 different sizes each end. There's the large size and the small. The large size goes onto the part with the ring. They're also threaded different directions. This I think is a clockwise thread and this a counterclockwise. I use the small Allen key through the hole to get a grip. And the part with the marking, I'm screwing clockwise. And then the small one is counterclockwise. Take part A9, fit 1 bearing each side. And it fits onto A10. These are the smaller of the ball screws. I'll just fit them here. And the third ball screw here. It's part A29. I've adjusted the length of the steering rods to about 23.5, 23.6 millimeters. You can see that this is the small socket. And this will fit on here. Here's the next one. Next is the servo. How to fit that. So we will use the servo that came with this kit, one of the small ball joints. This bag contains all the parts for the servo saver, and the servo is held into the A11 bracket with 2 M2 by 4 cup heads. open the gap in the metal ring with a small Allen key, and it should fit over. Progress so far. And here are the parts for the next section. We have A1s, they're both the same. B19, A7, A8. We'll need some M1.2 by 4 PBs and M2 by 4 TBs. We have the M2 by 4 TBs. Just building the shocks. I'm putting some 30k diff grease around the pins. To fit the shocks, you need parts B21. They're actually in this bag. And next, the upper arms. Here we'll use B22, these are the longer pins, and also the small B13 washers, which again come in this bag. Here we have the parts for the front splitter assembly. We have part D7, A31 and D1, the carbon part. And also this part here is A32. This is part of the body mount. And we'll be using 2 M2 by 4 TBs and 5 M2 by 4 KBs. Part A32 is secured to part A31 using one of the M2 by 4 TBs. There's a square section at the base of part A32 which needs to line up with a recess in part A31, and make sure you get the orientation for the pins correct. Next, section D7, again held in place with one of the M2x4 TBs. There are 2 location points for attaching the carbon part D1, and they line up at these 2 small holes. Now it's flat. And we secure this in place with 5 M2x4 KBs. I'm going to finish this video here. Thank you for watching. I put a video here, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below so that you're kept informed of future videos. Part 2 will be coming soon. Thank you.